she has gone viral, all right? She's gone viral over hot girls eat Arby's. Yeah. She was wearing this outfit, this arrangement into the Chicago Sky game. Of course, the Indiana Fever, I would like to say, beat the brakes off the Sky, but really it felt like they underachieved a good bit.
When Sophie Cunningham casually threw on an Arby's t-shirt, she likely had no idea she was about to dominate the entire WNBA news cycle. Yet, without even trying, that's exactly what she did. A single slogan, a simple shirt, and 800,000 units sold later, and suddenly a fast food brand had surpassed the league's own ticket revenue. It was the kind of surreal moment that even the best marketing strategists couldn't have scripted. And somewhere, off to the side, Angel Reese sat quietly scrolling through her mentions, likely wondering why her jersey wasn't the one flying off the shelves instead. What began as a lighthearted, almost throwaway moment quickly unraveled into something deeper, something that exposed one of the WNBA's most glaring flaws in its marketing strategy. And no, that problem isn't curly fries. It's the fact that one woman's raw, unfiltered presence completely outshone the entire league's polished branding machine. Sophie didn't just wear a catchy shirt, she became the moment. If you're part of the Sophie support squad, go ahead and comment Red Hot Sophie. Let's get it trending. Sophie Cunningham's Arby's shirt moment didn't just create buzz, it became a marketing phenomenon. As a current member of the Indiana Fever, she has now emerged as one of the most recognizable faces in the WNBA. During Barbie night, Sophie showed up in a tee that boldly stated, "Hot girls eat Arby's," and the internet erupted with reactions. But there's more to this story than a shirt. A few months earlier, Sophie had posted a video where she rated her Arby's experience just being her genuine self in the clip. That simple, honest review went viral. "I think I'm going to go ahead and give Arby's a solid 9 out of 10. She said in the video. That post lit a spark. Suddenly, the phrase "hot girls eat Arby's" started to gain traction all over social media. What many didn't realize is that Arby's had been using that line in its marketing since back in 2023. At some point, the WNBA's promotional priorities seemed to shift, less emphasis on basketball itself, and more focus on brand battles, petty Instagram jabs, and trying to go viral for anything other than actual gameplay. The scoreboard began to feel like a secondary concern. The stat sheet, optional. The drama, however, was constant. It started to feel like the shot clock was ticking down to the next tweet rather than the next bucket. Amid all of this social media noise and performance-driven culture, Sophie Cunningham stepped into the spotlight, setting the internet ablaze. Not with a flashy highlight or a killer crossover, but with a simple Arby's t-shirt and absolutely zero PR spin. There were no scripted drama moments, no choreographed TikTok dances, just curly fries and unapologetic charisma. In a league that's been desperate for something real, she delivered it, hot and fresh, without even trying. And strangely enough, her authenticity landed harder than any buzzer-beating shot the entire season. Let's not forget there's someone else who's gained immense popularity this year in Indiana, Caitlin Clark. From the very start, there were predictions that Sophie would become the second most popular player on the team by year's end. And then came the now famous moment during the Connecticut Sun game. By the final buzzer, Sophie wasn't just a role player anymore. She had earned the reputation of being Caitlin Clark's enforcer, the teammate who always has her back. Honestly, it often feels like she's the only one who truly does. She's not out here running isolation plays, she's isolating the truth. No glam squad needed for touch-ups, no Instagram filters layered over her personality, no PR stunts masquerading as authenticity, just Sophie being herself. With curly fries in one hand and the entire WNBA's marketing strategy in the other, she's dismantling the facade. Meanwhile, other players like Angel Reese seem more focused on cloud chasing it like a loose rebound. They manufacture drama, post overly produced TikToks, and build their online presence to resemble more of a reality TV reel than a professional athlete's feed. Sophie, on the other hand, is just vibing. No gimmicks, no thirst traps, just realness. And apparently, 800,000 t-shirts flying off the shelves suggest that kind of realness is exactly what people have been starving for. In a league obsessed with image, Sophie is dominating by being the one thing nobody else seems to dare to be: real, and that authenticity. It's turning out to be the most unstoppable move in the game. And now, Sophie's officially on the Arby's payroll. Turns out, it was a perfect match, like roast beef and cheddar level synergy. Hot girls eat Arby's has become more than a meme. It's a marketing juggernaut. No disrespect to Arby's, but if Sophie's giving them a 9 out of 10, someone should take her to Rax. Let her try Rax, and maybe she'll find that hot girls eat there too. Regardless, Arby's just found themselves a new spokeswoman in Sophie Cunningham. She took to social media to gush about her trip to the restaurant, and fans immediately responded. It's like someone cracked a window in a stale room and let in a refreshing gust of honesty. And judging from some of the side eyes it sparked, that breeze might have knocked a few fake lashes loose. Because when a player like Sophie starts racking up unscripted, genuine fan support, it seems to make the league uneasy. She's not part of the perfectly curated Instagram sorority. She's not dancing in the middle of the court after going 2 for 10 from the field. And she's definitely not clinging to choreographed bestie moments just to secure a spot in the next WNBA promo reel. Sophie is unscripted, off-brand, and ironically, exactly the kind of fresh energy fans didn't realize they were missing until now. In the game right before the Chicago Sky matchup, Sophie fully embraced her Barbie persona. Let's be honest, you were casting someone to play Barbie in real life. Sophie would absolutely be in the running. That's why people are so drawn to her. In a league that often feels smothered in performance art and staged moments, Sophie just shows up as herself. No wigs, no filters, no corporate brainstorms about personality development, just raw basketball, straight talk, and a bizarrely effective Arby's moment that hit way harder than anyone could have predicted. And maybe, just maybe, that's exactly what today's fans have been craving. Athletes who act like athletes. Who would have thought? Let's be real, part of what made Caitlin Clark flip the WNBA narrative upside down is that she never pandered. She just showed up and performed. Same with Aaliyah Boston She Barrels. Through distractions like a walking fact check, these women don't try to go viral. They just end up iconic through effort and presence. And that makes some people uneasy, because once fans start gravitating toward unfiltered, unscripted athletes, all those carefully manufactured branding strategies begin to fall apart. And that leaves the league with a harsh question to answer. If the WNBA still can't figure out how to turn its actual stars into mainstream icons, then what exactly are we doing? The league is loaded with talent. The charisma is undeniable. But instead of leaning into those strengths, the WNBA's branding machine continues to chase gimmicks instead of greatness. It prioritizes TikTok trends over toughness, catchphrases over court vision, and hair tutorials over handles. And this disconnection is costing the league far more than just social media engagement. Sophie gained over 700,000 followers practically overnight. Less than 48 hours ago, she only had around 300,000. That's an explosive level of growth. She's posted just twice since then, and yet her popularity has skyrocketed. She's not just Caitlin Clark's teammate anymore, she's a new star in her own right, and not everyone is happy about it. Trace Lecce energy, if you know what I mean. Now you've got Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham, and Lexi Hull, who, by the way, already had a serious fan base before Sophie came into the spotlight. The WNBA is starting to resemble less of a professional sports league and more of a sneaker-wearing beauty contest. The real currency isn't buckets or assists anymore, it's selfies, subtweets, and who's got the flashiest nails under arena lights. And in all that chaos, the true hoopers, the grinders, the focused pros who let their game speak are getting drowned out. But then something incredible happened. Sophie Cunningham's jersey officially sold out on the Indiana Fever's website. This happened during the same week she made headlines for a tough foul at the end of a game, a foul widely viewed as revenge for a hard hit Caitlin Clark had taken moments earlier. The foul led to ejections and triggered a wave of online outrage. Caitlin Clark's critics even started a petition calling for Sophie to be removed from the league, labeling her actions disgusting. But instead of backlash, what followed was a groundswell of support. Caitlin Clark's fans rallied around Sophie, snatching up her jerseys until they were completely gone from the shelves. That petition may have backfired in the biggest way possible, turning Sophie into a legitimate A-list superstar within the WNBA. That's why this whole Sophie Cunningham moment resonated so strongly. It was realness versus rehearsed branding. There was no character for her to play. No glam squad approving outfits in advance. Just a girl, a smirk, and a t-shirt that somehow generated more buzz than the league's last 3 campaigns combined. The moment she took center stage, you could sense the panic among those whose entire reputations are built on attitude with no output. Sophie ripped the curtain back, revealing that fans will always prefer authenticity over a scripted act.